Shalom. Kol Haloyim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rachakudash Shanyakubad Gadwala Requab Zequanyam Nawa Wa Shalayakim Nawa, and that's double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Shalawam, Wabarakim Abakonyam Shalyasharala, and that's peace and blessings to the elect of Israel. I wanted to make a video about this word, resolve. It's actually my favorite word, if we can even say we have those type of things, but it's definitely a word that I hold near and dear to my heart. As the saying goes, I just like the meaning, and it's something that I've always it's a word I've always thought about, even when I was outside of the truth. I applied it to other aspects of my life back then, obviously, and even more so now that I'm in the truth, and we've made this vow unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai to be holy, to be separate, to keep doing this work. Then it's something that is very, very important. You see, moving forward in these days to come, when Jacob's trouble is manifested and all hell breaks loose, you see there's going to be a lot of people that fold. And I'm talking about people that are, quote unquote, in the truth, people that are amongst the circumcision, people that proclaim that they believe in the Lord and they'll do anything for the Lord, they'll die for the Lord, but then these same people are going to fold. And that's why we have to say Lord's will concerning all of these future scenarios, and just pray that the Lord has mercy on us and stays with us, keeps his Holy Spirit upon us, because you never know. In the meantime, right now, our job is to build up our spirits, and we do that by praying, fasting, staying in this word, reading and linking with the brothers when you can, and just doing the work. What that does is it builds up a strong sense of resolve, so that no matter what happens in these future days, no matter what kind of legislation is passed, no matter what kind of what's the word I'm thinking of, temptations arise. The other word I'm thinking of is persecution comes. No matter what happens in the face of adversity, we're going to hold fast that which we have, which is our faith and this knowledge. Why? Because we have a strong sense of resolve. So this word, it says, I'm going to go down to the second definition at the top of the screen. I'll highlight it. And it says, decide firmly on a course of action. That's exactly what it means, to decide firmly on a course of action. When you come down here to the noun, it expounds a little bit further, and it says a firm determination to do something. So you're firmly deciding something, or you're deciding firmly on a course of action. And I'll even read the example. It says, she resolved to call Dana as soon as she got home. The other example says, she received information that strengthened her resolve. And as we watch videos, as we make videos, as we're out there on the streets, and as we read examples throughout the scriptures, then all of those situations strengthens our resolve, meaning it strengthens our firm determination to do something or to take a particular course of action. And that's very, very important, because this is coming. This is coming very soon. Revelation 13, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. And it's used the word causeth. And we always say that means like to make, do, possibly even to force when it comes down to it. But at the end of the day, Edom is going to create a scenario in which you're going to feel helpless. You're going to feel as if there's no other choice but to take this mark, this charagma, which is the micro CHIP. Micro CHIP. You can put those two words together. You can look it up on Google, get more information. But that's what this mark is talking about. In the Greek, it's the word charagma. And so when Esau creates this helpless scenario, a lot of people that know what the mark is and that know not to take it are going to fold. And the reason being is because they didn't have a strong sense of resolve. They weren't firm in that decision not to take it. They weren't firm in their decision to call out unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai no matter what kind of adversity is in front of their face. That's the importance of experience and going through trials. Because right now the Lord will put us through different scenarios and he'll have us call out on him. He'll have our faith strengthened and built up through these smaller stages, I'll say, of persecution, to when we're put in this final test right here, when this charagma is truly pushed, we'll have those prior examples to say, you know what? I called on the Lord back then and it worked. He helped me out. He gave me the solution. And now it strengthens your faith and you have an even deeper sense of resolve to do the same exact thing. Call out on him and say, Lord, please keep me away from the hour of temptation. As it says right here, Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. And like we always say, it's not going to be because of our own might, our own strength, that we're not going to take that charagma. It says, I also, meaning the Lord, will keep thee. In the Greek, that means to guard thee from the hour of temptation. And the hour of temptation is when that charagma is really pushed. And I'll even use the word made mandatory. Like you got to get it or you're just going to be off the map, right? You're not going to be a part of the functioning society anymore. And all we have to do in that case, in that scenario, is pray unto the Lord that he keeps us, that he holds us strong and firm. And we're going to be able to pray because of our strong resolve. It says, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Now, if you had a keen eye, I had up here Luke 14. And I wanted to grab this analogy right here because it fits perfectly with the definition of the word resolve. So starting at verse 26, it says, if any man come to me and hate not his... I'm not going to start there. I'm going to start... That's good, but I'm going to get right to the point. That's good, though. I'll read it because it's good. If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. What does that mean? That verse 26, is depicting a mentality that we have to have in this ministry. It doesn't mean that you're walking around holding a grudge against your family members because they don't believe the same thing that you believe in. No, it's saying that you have to be able to sacrifice that relationship that you have with them. If it comes between them and the ministry, you have to choose the ministry. So it's showing that mentality and saying, hey, be ready for this. You may have to forsake your family, your business, your, prior job that you had that was so good, but you just couldn't get off on Saturdays, and that's when your camp hits the streets. You may have to hate, meaning to forsake these things. But in order to do it, you have to have a strong sense of resolve. You have to be firm in that decision. Verse 27, and whosoever doth not bear his cross, meaning you hold and you carry these burdens. If you don't do that, if you don't bear that cross and come after the Lord, it says, come after me, cannot be my disciple. Why? Because the Lord is looking for people that are going to be strong. The scriptures talk about in Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, how This is basically an army being built up. You don't want people out there fighting on the front lines that are thinking about their wives back home. That's even in the law, thinking about their newborn child. That person isn't ready to fight. He's not ready to die. He's not ready for war. He's not in a warlike mentality. And right now, we're in a spiritual battle. This is a spiritual war that we're dealing with. And the Lord wants people that are ready, that are firm, that aren't going to look back. Verse 28 says, and this is really the analogy that I wanted to harp on. For which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first, and counteth the cost, whether he hath sufficient to finish it? Lest happily, after he hath laid the foundation, and is not able to finish it, all that behold it began to mock him, saying, This man began to build, and was not able to finish. Or what king, going to make war against another king, sitteth not down first, and consulteth whether he be able with 10,000 to meet him that cometh against him with 20,000? Or else, while the other is yet a great way off, he sendeth an embassage, a messenger, and desireth conditions of peace. So likewise, whosoever he be of you that forsaketh not all that he hath, aka being resolved in your decision, he cannot be my disciple. So yeah, no wonder I had this all highlighted, because the analogy basically all goes into a sacrifice. But in order to make that sacrifice, you have to think first. Are you fully resolved in your decision? Do you truly understand the level of commitment that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is expecting once you make this vow to offer your life as a living sacrifice? Do you fully understand what you're getting yourself into? Unless you tell your family about it, your friends, you're all in it, you do it for a few months or maybe even a year or two, and then all of a sudden you fall out. Now it's looking like you're just a weak individual. Family looking at you laughing, just making fun of you. You just look like a weak man. At that point, like your life is just everywhere. You don't know what to do. You're up and down, right? What's the word I'm thinking of? You're indecisive. Now, the Lord isn't looking for an indecisive individual. He wants you to be firm in your commitment and your decision making, know what yourself getting into, and then abound in it. Continuously abound within this ministry. Grow to different heights. Get a stronger sense of faith in this thing. Have a deeper level of fear. Gain more knowledge and wisdom and understanding from the scriptures. Get more into the, just the aspects of being a brother and what that means. We're going to jump over to the book of Luke, chapter 9, and the last 3 verses. Starting at verse 50, the last 4 verses, starting at verse 59. And he said unto another, Follow me. But he said, Lord, suffer me first to go and bury my father. Yahushua said unto him, Let the dead bury the dead, but go thou and preach the kingdom of the Most High. And another also said, Lord, I will follow thee, but let me first go bid them farewell, which are at my house. And Yahushua said unto him, No man having put his hand to the plow, so you made the vow, and looking back is fit for the kingdom of heaven. You start to do the work. Oh yeah, okay, I'm involved. Yeah, let's do it. Let's get out there. Let's make these videos. But now you're looking back, aka meaning you're having second thoughts. You're thinking about your, what do they call it, when you make a purchase and then you're having buyer's remorse. There we go. You do it, you make that purchase, you knew what you wanted. You spent the money. You got it. Transaction is there. Receipt is in your hand. Now you get in a car, and now you question, we having a second thoughts about that purchase, man. It was $150. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make rent now. I don't know if I can make that car note. You didn't think deeply about that thought. You didn't really have true resolve in your purchase, aka meaning you didn't truly think about the level of commitment that was necessary to make it into the kingdom of heaven, to be a part of the 144,000, the tabernacle of David. That it requires a deep level of resolve. We're not just trying to be a part of the 1/3. That's great. If you make it being a part of the 1/3, that's beautiful. You receive salvation, and you've been delivered. But we're looking to be a part of that A++ team, the kingdom, the tabernacle of David, that's going to receive a kingdom with Yahushua, being joint heirs with him, ruling, governing, that governing body over the entire earth. That's why you have to know what you're getting yourself into. Salakia for being a little bit jumbled up in my words. I'm just saying the same thing over and over again just to get that resolve in your head and in my head as well. So it's kind of a tongue twister. But anyway, those are all the precepts. I had a few more. I had like 2 more, but I think the point was made. And like I said, kind of just reiterating the same thing over and over again, because that's what resolve takes. You deeply reflecting what you're getting yourself into, not having any kind of remorse, not having any kind of second thoughts, counting the costs, and putting your all into it. That's what the Lord requires. That's what he wants. And there's going to be a great reward as long as you endure. You, I, all of us, we endure until the end. So I pray that this video was edifying to the elect. Call Haloyim Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rachakudash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.